I'll be remiss if I don't ask you, because when I told everybody that I was sort of going to talk to you, they said, ask him about the log truck. And I was like, okay. So,
Yeah.
like, how did that sort of come about? And, a lot of the people that sort of asked me to talk to you about it has said that whenever they see a log truck now, they back off about 2 or 3 kilometers off the speed limit. So it's had that sort of lasting effect. So how did that sort of come about? But then also, did you know that the impact would be this vast, not only on that moment of the log truck, but just this franchise as a whole? Like, it's gone generational, really.
It's funny, how I came up with the idea. Like we'd had the general story worked out. But originally it was going to be the kids are going to Florida and they stop at a hotel and it was going to be a hotel fire. Craig Perry, whose name I mention often, was just like, I like the hotel fire, but I wish we had something bigger. Well, I was driving home to visit my family in Kentucky. That's when I came up with the concept of the first one, was flying home to visit my family in Kentucky. So I always have to give Kentucky a shout out for not only raising me, right, but also for the inspiration. But yeah, like we were just, I was riding on the Mountain Parkway in Kentucky and got behind a log truck, and then I just pulled into the next lane, and then it just hit me. And I pulled off the freeway and I called Craig, like it was really late, and I woke him up, which is so Hollywood to say.
Yeah.
But I was like, what about a log truck in the front? He's like, whoa, so wait, slow down, Jeffrey. I was like, what about a log truck on the freeway and the chain breaks and he's like, that's a fucking opening.
Yeah, that's
So I love that story because it's also like how important like artists living life is, because you don't know where inspiration is going to hit
mm,
you. And I had been holed up at home, racking my brain trying to think of something to replace the fire. And then I was going home to visit my family, and it was just like I was so focused because I hate driving. So I was so focused on driving home that I wasn't thinking about the movie. And then I get behind that log truck and I'm like, oh, I hate those things. And then
yeah.
it went over and it was like light bulb moment. But to your second question, I just growing up as a fan, certainly you always keep like a sequel in mind. Like you just all my favorite horror movies have sequels. So I thought if we were lucky, we would have a sequel. Like I did think that. The impact is not something that it's so hard for me to get my head around. Like I get log truck memes and my friends are sending me log truck videos and TikTok that it's like almost every other day, like I will get something to do with like log trucks, or people saying, doing videos where it's like, this is a final destination moment. So to have that be in the zeitgeist
Yeah.
25 years later i- is really cool, but it's still hard to get my head around. You know, it's still hard to,
Mm, it
all
would
because
be.
my friends were like, oh, don't you know, like this is, and I was like, it's cool, but it's like also I grew up in Kentucky. They teach you to be very humble there. So I never go around going, ha ha ha, like
Yeah.
I'm in this like
Smiling the mustache. Yeah.
it's never like that, but it's really grateful. And I would be remiss if I didn't thank Chris Bender, who was working with me, who took the idea to Craig Perry and his producing partner at the time, Warren Zide, but also my friend Brett Leitner, who came up with the title, because originally it was called Flight 180. I know the directors liked the title and they wanted to keep it, but I knew that if there was a sequel, we couldn't call it Flight 182 and Flight 183.
Yeah.
And so we were really racking our brains. And my friend Brett Leitner came into the office one day and he's like, what about Final Destination? I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, well, I just landed and they say you've reached your final destination when you land on a plane, and that's your, you know, final destination on this planet is when you die. And I was like, that's really cool. And so I called the producer up and he's like, yeah, yeah.
That's it.
that-
You got it.
I mean, you still run into that, aha, not the final destination after all, but it's just cool. I mean, just as a fan, it still makes that no matter how old I get, it still like it takes me back to being that 14-year-old kid and thinking about Nightmare on Elm Street. And then it's like, if I told that kid, like, there would be memes going around about a scene he created one day in a horror. Well, he would have probably said, "You're damn right there,
Yeah.
Wolfie," because I had a lot of gumption when I was young, but it is really cool.
That's really
I'm
great.
very grateful, and again, it's all back to the fans, and it really is.
Yeah.